Hey kids, I'm in the kitchen again, and we're going to be making a potato dish for a fellowship meal tonight with our local church family. I'm just going to call it a twice baked smashed potato. Let me show you what I got out for the cook. So what I got ready is about 4 pounds of potatoes. I put them in my colander here, and I run them under the sink just to get everything cleaned off. Over here on the stove, I've got a 9x13 cast iron sheet pan with a piece of parchment paper on it. My oven has been preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is what we're going to do with those potatoes. Just lay them on here like this and slap those guys in the oven for about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. Just let them slow bake, and then we'll go on to part 2 later on. So at the moment, this is all we got to do. Now they're going to go in the oven. Well, here we are about an hour-ish or so, a little bit later, and they're definitely done because one exploded. I find that hilarious, but that's okay. For the next part of the cook, it's not going to matter anyway. So we're going to let these cool for about an hour or so, and then we'll be back. Okay kids, so I'm in the kitchen again, and this is the second part of the potato dish we're going to make. We're going to make some homemade ranch style dressing. Let me show you what I got out for the cook. Alright, so I got some sour cream, some mayonnaise, and some apple cider vinegar with the mother in it, tarragon, some ground mustard, parsley, garlic, onion powder, and onion flakes. I have them mixed in the same jar, some chives, and some dill. So I'm just going to measure all these out and put them in a little small jar like this so I can mix them up a little bit easier and then make my dressing. So I went and got my food scale out, put my mason jar on here. This is just a pint, wide mouth. And I got it set for milliliters on my food scale so I can measure out 120 mils of sour cream and mayonnaise. And hopefully this will work out really good. There's 30. 80. We're almost there. 114. Oh, 120. On the dot. Cool. All right, now some mayo. I like to use Duke's, but you can use whatever you prefer. So I'm going to readjust that for 0 again, so we can get another 120 even. And we'll measure it out that way. Close. 70 some, 90, maybe one more scoop, huh? Oh, that's close enough. That's close enough. Okay. Okay, I've added just a dash more of my mayonnaise in here, so I got my equal measurements I want. I have taken my spices and mixed them up in my jar. That's everything in there. I'm going to dump that in there like that. And this is not like a normal ranch dressing. This is going to be more like a sauce. It's going to be thicker so that we can put over top of our potatoes. And I've got a couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So now we're just going to take a fork and mix all that up. Okay, I've stirred it up, and that's what it looks like. It's not real thin, as you can see there. And now I'm going to just put this in the fridge and save it for later. Okay, it's been about an hour and they are cool to the touch. I'm going to put them over here on my cutting board here, and we'll start doing some prep on what we're going to do next. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly oil my cookie sheet here. And I'll use a pastry brush here and spread that around a little bit. Just kind of paint it on there. And then we'll start the potato prep. I want to get this oiled so that way whenever the potatoes are baking in the oven, we've got a nice coat of oil on the bottom. And I'm going to be pretty generous with this too, so I might actually add some more. And then we're going to just lightly salt and pepper this as well. So I've taken a knife, and all I've done is cut them in a little bit smaller pieces, and then I went and got my bacon press, and then we're going to smash them. So I'm going to just put some pressure on here and flatten them out some, about that thickness there if you can see, and we'll put them on our sheet. So I got them on my pan, and I went ahead and put some olive oil in a little cup, and now we're just going to brush the top of these guys here like this, real generous with it. So that way we can get them nice and brown. And we'll salt and pepper them and get them ready for in the oven. I'm going to continue to do this, and I'll be back when it's done. So now that I have them all greased up with the olive oil, or excuse me, the olive oil, I'm going to go ahead and salt and pepper them, get them ready for the oven. Okay, all the salt and pepper's on there. I use sea salt and some fresh granulated pepper that I went through the mill, and I'm going to put them in the oven. Okay, my timer's went off. It's been 20 minutes in. This is half of the batch. And what we're going to do is just flip them over and let them continue to grill on the other side. Back in the oven on 400 for about another 20 minutes or so. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that is... Can you hear that? That's getting a good sear on. Okay, back in the oven. Okay, they just came out of the oven. I gave this batch an extra about 5 to 10 minutes, and look what has happened. Isn't that beautiful? So we're going to load them up, take them to our church fellowship tonight, and serve them with that ranch sauce. It should be great. I'm going to season with a little bit of sea salt on top. They should be great. Enjoy.